Here I would suggest to you that, again, because everything's entangled, because the notion of separation is illusory, and because there are porous boundaries separating our different individual consciousnesses, what that means is that ideas can actually be seeded into the collective, and then any human being can access them. So this would allow, for instance, Gene Roddenberry, when he's thinking about these things with what he thinks is his imagination, quote unquote, he actually stumbles across these ideas. I've spoken about this on different podcasts. Many artists, as well as scientists, will tell you that how they actually come across certain ideas that seem novel is kind of miraculous. It sometimes happens in a dream, and it kind of happens sometimes in a non-ordinary state experience. There's different ways it happens, but they admit that it seems to be coming from somewhere beyond them, that all they're doing is accessing it. Again, this is true for artists, songwriters, painters, and people who seed new industries, or people who come up with different innovations in science. Now, speaking of this, another way that we see this evidenced is in how sometimes, surprisingly, although not so surprising once you take this into consideration, different people will come up with the same seeming scientific innovation or revelation at the same time, or very close to the same time. So that's why it's sometimes funny that we have these copyright laws and we try to establish who came up with it first. Sometimes once an idea has been seeded, different people will come across the idea at the same time. And in fact, that very peculiarity of circumstance is pointing to this, that once the idea is in the collective field, then anyone tuning into that field can draw down, can download that idea. And that sometimes means that different scientists will come up with the same idea at the same time. And it's not because one stole from the other, but rather because that idea, that notion is now in the field, and any human being that's part of the collective can access it.